And then he saw XP, but he didn't see the middle letter. And then the Lord showed me driving down the road about X and P. But I saw that certain thing going above $10,000. And I saw it going to $5 quickly.
I've seen a lot of crazy things in my short time on this planet, but this has to be the most insane. If you guys have seen the Last Days YouTube channel, where he's been praying over the wealth transfer that's happening right now globally, well, in this video, we have to talk about what is taking place this year for SWIFT, that is the world's leading provider of secure financial messaging services, and how they are migrating over to the ISO 222 messaging standard, the 22nd of November, 2025, which will cause XRP to absolutely explode. But is this true, or is this all just a pipe dream? With tons of people out there believing that XRP is digital gold, used by over 300 plus financial institutions in 40 plus countries. So in this video, we're gonna uncover Ripple's secret plan to replace SWIFT, getting all of the payment providers onto the Interledger protocol to use XRP for on-demand liquidity, what this ISO migration means and why it's important for you. That way you can understand how XRP will play a role in the new financial landscape, with secret patents that have been leaked to the general public from banks in the United States, as we witness in real time a new financial world rising. So we have some powerful clips to play with you guys from the CEO of Ripple talking about how XRP won't just compete with SWIFT, it will surpass it. And also we're gonna get into the price chart for Bitcoin to the US dollar compared to XRP, what I talked about over 6 months ago that played out to the T on the chart, and what I see happening right now on the XRP, the US dollar price chart that you do not want to miss. Plus what comes up on the Gematria calculator for SWIFT network that will blow your mind. So stick all the way to the end of this video. This is going to be one of your favorite videos that you guys see all month long. With that being said, comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish. And as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna kick this video off with a quick giveaway. We're giving away $100 worth of XRP. If you wanna win, all you need to do is follow us on Twitter at BullRunnersHQ, and you'll see a pinned post right here. All you need to do is like the post, comment XRP on it, and then sign up for Blowfin using our affiliate link. That'll be in the description below. We're gonna announce the winner tomorrow, this Sunday, on our daily email newsletter. And to get access to that, just click the link below as well too. It'll take you to a page that looks like this, and you simply just click the button on the page, put in your best email address to be instantly subscribed. And just for subscribing, you're gonna get a free copy of our new book called Altcoin Secrets, the underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire. So check that out. I know you're going to love it. We'd love to pick you. And even if you don't win, inside the book, you're going to unlock the 23 secrets to become an overall better crypto investor. Because when we get into this video and talk about what is taking place, guys, crypto is here to stay. And the banks have been prepping for this. Now, when we go to swift.com, for those of you that aren't familiar with SWIFT, SWIFT is basically the way that the world moves value and money. SWIFT stands for the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, and they were established back in 1973 in Belgium. So they are the main messaging networks that banks use globally. They are the largest. They also sell software and services to different financial institutions. And as of 2018, around half of all high-value cross-border payments worldwide use the SWIFT network. And back in 2015, they had linked more than 11,000 financial institutions in over 200 countries and territories. And now they facilitate more than 45 million financial messages daily, which is over $5 trillion per day. So this is one of the world's largest operations here, and they are undergoing the biggest transformation in human history, making the leap to what's called the ISO 222 messaging standard. And the deadline for banks globally for this, guys, is happening this year by November of 2025. So right here on SWIFT's website about ISO 222, they're saying it's an open global standard for financial information, providing consistent, rich, structured data that can be used for every kind of financial business transaction. So the coexistence period for the payment instructions is scheduled to end the 22nd of November, and this is just a long-winded way of saying they will be improving interoperability, transparency, and efficiency in payments globally, because the largest problem right now for banks is there is not a single standard right now that covers all business domains and end-to-end transactions. Even with SWIFT, wire transfers, ACH transfers, they still take 3 to 5 days. So that is bound to change, and the friction in the timeline that it takes to send a payment overseas to another bank in another country is going to decrease to seconds virtually in real time. Because as a business owner, if you want money now, you don't want to call JG Wentworth. You want your bank on the ISO 222 standard.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now.
Payments are entering a new era as the common language for payments worldwide shifts to ISO 222. Early adopters are already seeing improvements, like an increase in interoperability between their systems, as well as enhanced operational capabilities. We expect to see even more benefits as momentum builds towards the community's 2025 deadline. But what does this change mean for you? And how might your organization be affected by the end of the coexistence period between MX and MT message types? ISO 20022 adoption impacts all banks, all over the world, not just large ones. If you're not ready by November 25, payment instructions sent in the old MT format may be rejected, or you could face business, operational, and compliance challenges. The benefits of ISO 20022 are clear. Interoperability with global payment systems, enhanced transparency, and seamless data flow through transactions. ISO 20022 adoption should span your whole business, not just operations and infrastructure. Upgrade your infrastructure, and together we can unlock the full potential of an instant and frictionless global payment ecosystem.
Now, with this migration taking place, it's no wonder why Ripple over the past several years has been making these strategic partnerships with banks globally,
rather than being an internet system. So we need that internet of value to be developed. And that's what we spend our time working on, is a replacement for SWIFT and correspondent banking. How do you get all of the payment providers, all of the wallets onto ILP? And then how do you use XRP as on-demand liquidity so that all of these providers don't have to keep balances all over the world because the process is so inefficient. We think that's the winning kind of killer app. And then I think you, last group talked about a Cambrian explosion. Yeah. Then you get that Cambrian explosion.
So this has been their plan all along. And when he talks about Cambrian explosion, I'm going to get into that on the charts in a little bit. But this is already underway right now behind the scenes, because Ripple's technology is being used by financial institutions like Santander, SBI, among many others, for cross-border settlements, used by over 300 financial institutions in over 40 countries. Transactions cost less than a penny and settle in 3 to 5 seconds. XRP can process 1,500 transactions per second. Ripple is directly working with governments and central banks. And how you get wealthy in crypto is simple. Now, it's not easy because you have to control your emotions. And as always, this is not financial advice, but the steps are: number 1, buy low, hold long, look for dips to accumulate on, and then hold through the volatility until we're at the end of the bull run cycle. And I'll be explaining in a little bit when I believe the end of the bull run cycle is going to be in. But number 2, you would set a target. So a lot of people, they sell too early, or they never sell and they round trip their bags back to the bottom. The key is timing your entries and exits like a pro, which is why we created altcoin secrets that you guys can get below. But number 3, have a secure place to store your XRP in cold storage wallets for long-term safety. If you're just holding your XRP on an exchange like Coinbase, that is the biggest mistake that you could make. Inside of Altcoin Pro University, through the link below, go through the ironclad crypto security strategy and watch these videos so you guys can understand how to utilize VPNs, have a dedicated crypto email, setting up MetaMask and other wallets like Rabby, Phantom, also getting your cold storage wallet like Trezor, and knowing how to store your seed phrases, because one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is giving away their seed phrase. That's like giving away the password to your bank account. So all of these tutorials right here help you guys protect your crypto, and my research team has done an incredible job putting this together for you guys. So that's number 3. Learning how to protect your wealth is just as important, if not more important, than learning how to generate wealth, because I've seen so many people make a lot of money in crypto and then they lose it to hacks, to scams, into simple user error like sending to the wrong wallet address or keeping their crypto on an exchange like FTX. Exchanges are used to trade your crypto, but you don't want to use it as a long-term storage plan for yourself. So number 4, that's why you got to stay informed, stay plugged in, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to continuously cover the adoption news and other strategies to make money online. That's why number 5 is diversify. You don't want to put all your funds in one asset. You want to balance your crypto portfolio. As bullish as we are on XRP, if all you hold is XRP, well, on the charts, I'm going to explain the possibility of what's coming next and how I predicted the breakout that was going to happen for XRP, along with other cryptocurrencies that our community made hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars on. Because what we do is marry the art of science and the science of art together, because studying the crypto market is a science, but there's also an art to it of decoding riddles, connecting the dots, and sharing things that are going to fly over the heads of 99% of the population, but less than 1% will truly understand what we're talking about. And that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because 99% of the population hears stuff like this and they think it's too cuckoo, they think it's too crazy. But how I became a millionaire before 30 is looking at that stuff with an objective mind and then connecting the dots for the science of it and the technical side of things to back it up with proof. And that's what we're doing in this video, because this clip right here from the last day's channel, from Brandon, who predicted the assassination attempt on Trump, has been saying this for months. In fact, this video was uploaded 5 months ago, November 20th of 2024.
And then he saw XP, but he didn't see the middle letter. And then the Lord showed me driving down the road about X and P. But I saw that certain thing going above $10,000. And I saw it going to $5 quickly. And the Lord told me that this would be big like Apple, Microsoft. It would be the new .com era through digital platform. It'd be a supernatural wealth transfer coming. I believe we are seeing President Trump step on the scene with Elon Musk. And we are seeing people who have a different way of thinking, that are not your average Joes, that have brilliant minds. And the Lord told me there was a Solomon type of an anointing that was coming on Trump in a greater magnitude in this next 4-year term. All I know is that I see a covering, and things are different when I pray over it now more than it's ever been.
So will XRP hit $10,000 this market cycle? Well, we don't know. And most likely not. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that it won't. I want to give you a practical approach to the market and also share with you the facts of what's happening, because I think within my lifetime, something insane is going to happen for XRP. Now, whether it happens this cycle or next cycle or the cycle after that, all of this takes time. For example, this happened April 23rd with Deutsche Bank making the leap to the ISO 20022 standard. And we're going to see banks globally making these announcements, guys. And we're going to cover them on this channel when you subscribe. For example, the Federal Reserve of the United States, the central bank of the largest company in the world, is making the transition July 14th of 2025. So they're going to be adopting the ISO 20022 messaging standard. And so to understand how this is going to integrate with XRP is the ISO standard is what all banks, specifically SWIFT, is going to be leveraging to provide richer structured data to improve the efficiency in payments. And they started this migration in March of 2023, and full adoption is going to be required by November of 2025. And that's the equivalent of the gun firing off at the start of the race, not the end of the race. That's the start of the race. So most of the adoption is going to be coming over the next few decades, guys. And a lot of people have no patience here because they want something to take off overnight and they expect something to explode in the next 24 hours when they hear predictions like what Brandon Biggs says. But the spirit is infinite. God does not work on the physical time constraints that us humans operate on from Monday through Friday, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. So in my opinion, when he gets these downloads from the spirit, there is no exact date on it, but when he says it, people think that it's supposed to happen this bull run cycle because that's their assumption. So never make assumptions here, and also seek God for yourself and see what God tells you. Because if you guys have heard my story back in 2020, through prayer, God pointed me to XRP, and I started getting these downloads into my mind to start making videos about XRP. And for the past few years, that's what I've been doing. So it's interesting to see all of this playing out now because the ISO messaging standard is what SWIFT is going to be using. And XRP is the native token of the XRP ledger used primarily for bridging cross-border payments through Ripple's on-demand liquidity payment solution. So it's no coincidence that XRP enables near instant settlement with minimal fees compared to traditional systems, and SWIFT is upgrading their entire system to this new standard. Also, number two, it's no coincidence that in 2020, Ripple became the first blockchain company to join the ISO 20022 standards body, allowing them to influence the development for distributed ledger technology. Ripple officially became a member of the standards body. Now, what that means is that back in 2020, Ripple joined the ISO 20022 registration management group, allowing Ripple to influence the development and evolution of ISO 20022. That's like being the first member picked on Dodgeball and then telling the team captain who you want to choose on the team. It's like being the first player in the NFL draft pick, guys. And holding XRP is like owning the rookie card for that player. So there's only a select few cryptocurrencies that are compliant with the ISO messaging standard, enabling those cryptocurrencies to integrate seamlessly with banks and financial institutions that are also adopting this standard. But it doesn't mean the banks are going to use them right away. It just simply simplifies the connection through a standardized API process that's going to reduce operational costs and improve efficiency for Ripple's 300 plus banking partners. And with Trump adopting cryptocurrency as well too, and putting people in positions like the SEC and other areas of the government that are friendly to crypto, well, what do you think is going to happen, guys? Now that banks have been given the green light to be able to offer crypto related products to their clients that are also shifting to the ISO messaging standard. Well, they're more likely to consider ISO-compliant assets like XRP for cross-border payments because it aligns with their systems. And because Ripple was a first-round draft pick, so to speak, for this standard, they now can influence the banks to be able to offer XRP to all their wealthier clients. So for the people that don't see the big picture by now because they're too focused on the price of XRP, well, those people are going to get left behind. Look at this. We talked about this in a previous video. This patent right here for real-time net settlement by distributed ledger systems, filed back in 2018 by the Bank of America Corporation, shows right here on this patent a centralized database, and at the bottom of it shows distributed ledger right here. And also right here on this document says introducing real-time net settlement with Ripple's DLT, that's distributed ledger technology, through Ripple Interledger Protocol, with other things on here like general ledger, FI1 Nostro, FX trade, pre-funding. They've been working on other stuff behind the scenes that they have not revealed to the general public that we're just gonna have to see play out in real time. But we are living through the greatest wealth transfer in human history. That is a fact. And most people just don't even realize it yet because mainstream media isn't gonna talk about it until it's too late. The wealthiest business owners and people behind the scenes make moves in silence. And then by the time the general public hear about it, they've already properly positioned themselves. For example, guys, months ago, even a year or two ago, when Bitcoin was around $20,000 to $30,000, I was getting messages from people when BlackRock was buying Bitcoin by the billions of dollars through OTC deals, looking for old Bitcoin holders that accumulated Bitcoin anywhere from $1 to $100 to accumulate the Bitcoin from them without affecting the price on the open market. Because when you do an OTC deal, or if you have a holder that has been holding for something for a long period of time, and you were to send them something like USDT or US dollars from one bank account to another, and they send you the Bitcoin, you technically didn't buy the Bitcoin on a spot order influencing the price. You just exchanged hands. And so deals like that were happening behind the scenes with companies like BlackRock. And I was screaming from the top of my lungs what was going to happen to Bitcoin ever since the bear market bottom at around $15,000 to $16,000. And those of you that chose to listen, I just want to say congratulations, you guys made a lot of money. And I'm going to continue to share information that I get with you guys, at least the information that I'm allowed to share. And it's up to you what you choose to do with that information. Because I've had conversations with specific people, and what I know is this: the old world is fading, a centralized manipulated system built on debt and control, and a new world is rising that's going to be based on decentralized transparency, powered by the blockchain. And Ripple is one of those companies that's at the center of it all. Like how Amazon is to e-commerce, Uber and Lyft is to the taxi industry, Airbnb is to the hotel industry, Ripple is to the banking industry for cross-border payments.
Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And that's architecture, that's a technology architecture that's developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the US kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think, so when you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas, or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. The 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But in the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
So you guys remember when the CEO of SBI said that every bank in Japan will use XRP by 2025? Well, that's not just Japan. That's some of the largest banks globally.
I anticipate a court decision in a few weeks. And if the court determines that Ripple's XRP is ultimately not a security, I expect the price could soar significantly. As major external shareholders, we would see substantial capital gains if the value increases. But even without selling, the valuation itself would be considerable. I'm optimistic that the outcome will be favorable soon.
So this video was posted February 2nd of 2025. And if you guys have been subscribed to the channel for the past few years, I have been saying that this lawsuit is over behind closed doors for some time now. And you're just going to have to see it happen in the public light for the announcements, because the reason why they are dragging it out is to allow the elite to accumulate more. XRP is drastically undervalued for the problem that they are solving. So right here on October 26th of 2024, I made this video showing the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart and the XRP to the US dollar price chart. And here's what I said. So now that we're just starting to break out on the stochastic RSI and we're not yet above 80, I think Bitcoin is just going to start marching, even if there's short-term like pullbacks in the temporary period and it chops through this range right here. I think Bitcoin is just going to continue to march higher, and eventually what we will see if we continue the bullish rally is we'll see a candle, like multiple candles, like what happened here from the 5th of February until the 11th of March, and also from the 16th of October until like the 23rd of October, where these green candles come in very, very quick. You have 1 to 2 weeks, and if you're not prepared, if you're not holding, then you're FOMO buying in that rally, and you just start checking your phone. You're like, whoa, Bitcoin's breaking out. It's at 80K. Holy crap, an hour later, it's at 85,000. That's what happens. So much money flows in so quick, and we just see these parabolic green candles. And that is exactly what happened. Looking at Bitcoin on the weekly chart, 1, 2, 3 massive bullish candles. And sure enough, Bitcoin went from 67,000 to 81,000, then to 93,000 really quick. And people were checking their phones. They're like, whoa, Bitcoin is breaking out. I should buy some Bitcoin. And I say this over and over and over again. People get caught buying into those rallies, and then we see corrections take place, and then they're frustrated because they bought the peak when they should have subscribed to the Bull Runners channel to be prepared. Because sure enough, right here on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, we went back above 80 on the stochastic RSI. We experienced a cross on the 9th of December at around 97 when the price was upwards of $104,000. And we've since sold off from that point, and now we're making a recovery. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, you could see XRP after that on the 28th of October to the 4th of November started the breakout with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of bullish price action. Now in that same video, here's exactly what I said about XRP. So what does that mean for XRP? Well, I talked about this, guys. We also look at the key indicators for XRP. Now, when the tide rises, so do all ships. Usually, the challenge here is that XRP is one of the most suppressed cryptocurrencies. It's like silver. Silver was one of the most valuable physical metals back in ancient times, and silver is one of the most suppressed currencies today. I see that as XRP as well too. They're suppressing it for some reason, and also the key indicators show that XRP potentially hasn't bottomed yet, because the weekly stochastic RSI is in a downtrend right here. We haven't seen a bullish cross take place where the K line crosses back above the D line. When we see that happens, in my opinion, XRP would be making a reversal. So I did talk about this, and I'm very candid with you guys. I'll tell you when I think something's going down, and it looks like XRP is coming back down to retest this ascending support on top of this horizontal zone of support that we saw it wick off of from the 5th of August, the 1st of July, all the way back here on the 8th of April, the 14th of August, and all the way back here before it broke out to like 90 something cents. So I could see XRP coming back within this range before it's seen a bounce to the upside. Then XRP follows the rest of the market as Bitcoin's breaking out past its all-time high going into 2025. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm going to be accumulating more XRP. I'm probably going to sell my condo, and I'm going to put it into XRP, and I'm going to put it into other top crypto assets that I see breaking out in the real world asset space, artificial intelligence, gaming, meme coins. And that was right around here, just days before XRP bottomed out around 48 cents within this zone of support. And on the weekly stochastic RSI, what did we see? Well, we experienced a bullish cross all the way down here below 20. And XRP reversed off of this zone of support and absolutely exploded to the upside, more than a lot of people expected. And yes, I sold my condo. I sold my $200,000 Audi R8. And let's just say that decision was one of the best decisions I ever made. So what do I see happening next on the XRP price chart, and how much longer will we range between this zone of support and resistance? Well, if we look at the weekly stochastic RSI, we can see the K line is at 14, the D line is at 10. We just experienced a bullish cross on the 14th of April. And what this reminds me of is what we went through during this consolidation phase between the 15th of May of 2017 to the 11th of December. Now, it's not going to be exactly the same, but the confluence that I can see is this. Look all the way back here from roughly the 10th of July until like the 21st of August, when the weekly stochastic RSI for XRP was all the way down here. We experienced a bullish cross on the 24th of July. It was a fake out. The price rallied from this low right here of 12 cents, came all the way up to about 19 cents, sold off back down to 14 cents, and then broke this descending resistance right here to come back to retest the 30 cent resistance, and then sold back off one final time to this zone of support and then just consolidated between that and resistance, forming higher lows. When XRP finally broke out of that triangle was after this bullish cross on the 14th of August of 2017. You guys can see on the left-hand side of the screen, this breakout caused the K line, the D line to pop all the way up here to about 31 and about 24. When XRP experienced this breakout from this descending resistance and then got rejected from 30 cents and then came all the way back down to back test it as support, coiling up for about 4 months after that until the explosive breakout happened to push XRP from about 20 cents all the way up here to about $3.30, and then the bear market kicked in. So coincidentally enough, right now at the time of making this video, it's May 3rd. The ISO 222 messaging standard deadline is November 22nd of 2025. So that's about 6 to 7 months from right now. So in my opinion, where we are for XRP is similar to where we were right here between the 10th of July and the 21st of August. So in my opinion, over the next few months, I think XRP is going to range between $3 and roughly $1.80, $1.90. And we're inevitably going to see the stochastic RSI trend back above 20 and confirm this bullish cross at some point, while XRP ranges between support and resistance until XRP breaks this descending resistance, holds it as support, and then the next major move to the upside I feel is going to come in Q4 of this year. Now, if you guys didn't watch my previous video talking about how time travel is real and the government has been hiding it from us, in this video, I brought up this book called The Last President, and it also talked about Barron Trump's marvelous underground journey, talking about time travel and Back to the Future and all that stuff, plus the Gematria calculator. Then definitely check it out after this video. But if we go to the Gematria calculator and we just put in SWIFT network, which as you guys already know is making the leap to ISO 222 by November of this year. Well, what's interesting is in English Gematria, it comes up as 1098. In simple Gematria, it comes up as 183. The exact same numbers is, guess what? XRP to the moon. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't think this is a coincidence at any point. I've made hundreds of videos about XRP, and all of the Gematria ones that I've been bringing up have been showing XRP. Why wouldn't it be showing something like Chainlink? Why wouldn't it be showing something like SUI or Solana? Or even Bitcoin or Ethereum? Why are virtually all of these Gematria searches related to specific phrases that have to do with XRP taking off? Well, I'll let you answer that in the comments below. Now, does that mean XRP is going to go to $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 this bull run cycle? Most likely not, because this takes decades to play out. But for those that have patience, and as Bearable Guy 123 shows in virtually all these riddles, the word perseverance, where XRP persevered. Well, those two things, patience and perseverance, have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish. So as we go throughout this summer and banks globally adopt the ISO 222 standard, getting ready for the deadline in November of 2025, will that lead to an explosion for XRP in Q4 of this year? And when the next bear market kicks in, will there be order out of chaos for sparks to fly? For a major transformation where the general public will open their eyes in the land of milk and honey for a checkmate to remember? Well, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you appreciate this video, make sure you give it a like, share it with a friend. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and check out the links in the description below, because we're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation, blockchain tech, distributed ledger technology is going up in interest and value. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top. I will see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish. Most people that are interested in crypto trading don't have the time to manage their entries and stop losses, so they invest with emotion, and that's why they lose. So we have a powerful way for you to make money by directly copying our trades and other successful crypto traders. And copy trading is one of the easiest and most popular ways to make money in crypto. Copying other traders that had more experience than me is how I became a crypto millionaire before 30 when I was new to the industry back in 2016, but I had to manually enter the trades myself, which was super stressful because I didn't understand how to properly set up stop losses or take profits back then. So I ended up missing great entry points or holding longer than I should have, losing out on potential profits. That's why leveraging a copy trading platform that does this for you is the best way to go. And how it works is the exchange will put in the orders for you when you copy another experienced trader. That way you don't have to manually follow the trade alerts or enter or exit trade positions sitting at a computer all day long. And it's very easy to get started with too. All you have to do is go to the link in the description below this video and create your free account, deposit any crypto asset that is listed on the platform, and then choose which trader you like to copy that has the best win rate. In full disclaimer, because we believe in transparency, we do earn a small commission for every trade that you make on the exchange, but that helps support videos like this to help you succeed. And you can also get exclusive access to our top altcoin picks and breaking crypto news updates as well inside of our Telegram group through the link below this video. So check that out. I know you're going to love it.